Well, the back and forth has been ego stuff that is ignorant and asinine and counterproductive. But right now, he's so in need of a victory. I think the thing that might make peace with Korea is that it would save his presidency.
Former Ambassador Andrew Young stopping by our studios today talking about a future meeting between President Trump and the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Joining me right now, Chuck Todd, the moderator of Meet the Press. What do you think of those words? Does Donald Trump need a victory?
Look, I think the ambassador is onto something there. I think that there is part of the president's decision. You know, he went around his own advisors and his own team. He went to the briefing. He went to the press room himself to alert them of the news of this Korea announcement. And I think that tells you, why did he do that? He wanted to make sure it happened. He wanted to make sure he wants this out there. I think he does feel more and more comfortable leading with his gut than ever before. It's how he conducted much of his business career. I think he took a while in his own way to get his sea legs, but I think he's sort of feeling comfortable pushing aside staff and going with his gut. So I think this was definitely a gut decision. And yes, I think he feels a bit under siege with Mueller, with this Stormy Daniels business, and this suddenly raises the stakes.
But they're definitely
and puts him on a big stage. So yes, I think there's something to what the ambassador said.
But there's a reason that no American president has talked with a North Korean leader over the last 65 years. It has been fraught with all kinds of potential problems, and there's not a lot of plus side or upside for the United States. I mean, this is not like meeting with Francois Mitterrand or Margaret Thatcher. I mean, this is a totally different thing here.
Not only that, there's a question about, you know, you meet with them. We've been fighting to help reunify Korea for a long time. So meeting with them almost somehow gives the idea, puts it in concrete that North Korea it should be its own country and is somehow a leader on the world stage as a nuclear power. This is what the North Koreans want. So just the president accepting this has given Kim Jong-un already a small victory. But let's look at it from the other side of this. Nothing else has worked. So why not? Everything else has not slowed down the process of him getting nuclear weapons. So, and yet it's always better to talk than to threaten to punch somebody with a bloody nose.
Give me a sense of how this Stormy Daniels thing is going to play out and what we can expect to see on that front legally. You mentioned that at the outset, and yeah, it is one of those stories I think a lot of people have a hard time understanding what this is about and why this is a danger to his presidency as well.
I think it's personally more problematic. This is something that, you know, I don't think it's, put it this way, with my own sources, it's not a coincidence that that we've seen what feels like a distancing between the first couple ever since this Stormy Daniels thing has percolated up. And it's been my understanding that the president's issue with this is the impact it's had on his own marriage. And so that's where I think this story is even more problematic for him, because you have personal problems at home. You already have a rough presidency. That's more isolating. So I really think that it's almost as much of a personal irritant to him, and it's more problematic for him personally than it is politically.
Chuck Todd, Meet the Press, Sunday right here on 11 Alive. Chuck, as always, thank you. We appreciate it.